Happy birth month to both of us.
Wow. It's a special month just for
An-
us.
Another 12 episodes everyone endured just to get to our birthday. Oh, you poor sweet
Wow. I can't
things.
believe how much you all went through to get here to this special occasion.
It means a lot. It means a
It
lot.
it doesn't mean it means a bit.
Oh, well, the effort was seen by some kind of.
I have very high standards this birthday around.
I know. This is your 3-4. Is that how
It's
old
the
you're
big
turning?
3-4, isn't it? The special
Uh,
3-4.
what are you doing for your 3-4?
Blaze did something really awesome. He booked us a little cabin, and his mom and Aunt Lisa are coming down, and my brother's flying in. We're gonna go to like a little cabin. He's bad at he can't for the life of him. I swear to God, on anyone's life, he cannot keep a secret or like keep something to himself. Which we kind
Mm-hmm.
of discovered when Leona barged in here yesterday and started screaming about my secret birthday present.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, he literally blurted it out. Like, I mean, it's like when he came home with the engagement ring, he was still in his scrubs holding Indian food, and he
Mm-hmm.
had planned this whole, like, hiking trip to propose, and he just, like, freaked out and, like, handed me the ring. Like, he can't which you did make a good point. It's, like, a good thing, I guess, that you
Certainly
aren't a
for
good
kids.
liar. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's especially for kids, like when, like if she goes to like someone's house, you know that she's like
Oh,
not
right,
keeping a
for Leona,
secret.
yes. I think also
Yeah.
for Blaze, because 'cause I'm like, "What are you
Sure.
hiding?" Just kidding. He doesn't hide anything because he knows he's bad at it. Unless he's really that good at it, and that could be a novel idea. Somebody write that down because 'cause I'm gonna write a book about that.
I'm pretty
What were
sure.
we talking about?
I'm
Oh,
pretty
I'm
sure
going
every like horror author has covered that at some point, like a sneaky, quiet person who has a secret life.
Okay, well, you know what?
Maybe not.
Sometimes things need to be redone in a fresh way, you know?
Yes, you're right. Sorry. Carry on.
Okay. Um, oh,
Your
yeah,
B day.
so we're going to a cabin, I'm really excited, and he cleaned my office, which was very nice.
That is
Um,
very nice. Is it
yeah.
completely clean yet, or is there still a little bit?
It looks pretty damn good. We went in there oh my god, okay, this is gonna be the reason I drink in a couple days when we record, so I'm not gonna tell the whole thing, but Leona literally was like, "Let's go look for a ghost," and I went, "Sorry, what?"
No.
There's, like, a whole thing, that I will tell everybody in the main episode because I want it to be in the main episode, but there's a whole
Ugh.
journey happening over here, that I was not prepared for. Remember when everyone said, "Careful what you wish for," and I said, "Leona never talks about ghosts." Well, things have shifted. The tides have turned, so, as of, like, today. So,
Is it Harry or is it someone else?
I don't know. She calls him Boo Boo.
I swear to God, what is this, an A24 movie? That's horrific.
I know. Again, write it down. It could be a novel. I'm telling you, I'm living a horror story right now. Um, so
No,
that's good. Yeah. So happy birthday to me. And Emmethy, what do you have planned for your birthday?
I got nothing. This is like my first birthday. I got no plans.
Well,
I
we have a cabin in Kentucky somewhere if you want to come ride my stepdad's boat around the
Oh,
lake.
thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No, I Allison was gonna come for my birthday, but then it just like we're when it comes to like
Weren't you
money
gonna
right
go
now.
to somewhere cool, or am I making? Oh, that was your. I keep
That's
mixing
for
your
our
anniversary
anniversary,
up
yeah.
because I get July 4th, June 4th, June 3rd. Anyway.
Well, yeah, we were thinking about clumping everything together, like my birthday and our anniversary, just so it's one flight for her.
Mhm.
I still don't know if we're gonna do that. It's the the end of June, early July is quite a big old tumbleweed in my head right now about plans. But for my actual birthday, I don't think I'm
Tumbleweed in
doing.
your head. Okay.
Yeah, I guess the opposite of what that means. Tumbleweed usually means nothing.
I know, but I actually do feel like I know what you mean. It's kind of like a sand tornado, maybe.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. You just can't
Um,
see through. Yeah, it's like chaotic.
so yeah, my only birthday plan currently is to maybe go to the dog park. I think the reason I do drink at the beginning of this month is
Mhm.
because Mr. Pink Eye over here, round two, I can't take him to the dog park if he's got pink eye. So like that
Oh, shit.
means the next week is going to be hell on wheels because he can't get his energy out.
Oh God.
Um, so I'm like really not loving it. But we go to the that's him, by the way. Hi.
Hi.
Um, we go to the vet right after this, and it's the first time he's taking his puppy trazodone. So I'm
Oh
very,
boy.
very excited to see what that does to him.
Yeah, that's supposed to be very helpful with anxious dogs. So
Well, the doctor said, don't bring him here again unless he's on trazodone.
oh,
Because
okay. Wow, this is doctor's orders. Got it.
yeah, this is Mr. Guidashue's orders. So
Mr. Guido shoes. I fruit up.
yeah, I fruit up. So anyway, we're seeing Mr. Guidashue's,
Wow, so
and
you're a real parent now for your birthday. It's like this is
yeah,
you get it now. This is the first birthday. Well, that's not true. I've had a couple really fun birthdays since I had Leona, but this is the first one that's like a trip, like a whole thing. I mean, it's probably my first birthday that's been a whole trip in my life, but it's the first one where like Leona's part of it. Like it's like a family event, you know, because she's old
yeah.
enough to participate. And we're getting those floaty things for the back of the boat where you like sit in it and then you
Oh,
ride around. Oh,
oh,
and
she'll go nuts.
we're going magnet fishing.
She'll go nuts for all that.
Do you know what magnet fishing is?
I do know what magnet fishing is, and I've never done it, and it looks really fun. You know what's not
It's
fun though is this
so
deranged pink eye dog
he's
trying to get
like
on the table.
he's like fishing.
Look at
He
how
said,
bad his
"Mr.
eye
Guido
is. It's so
shoes."
sad.
Let me see, baby.
Thank you. Show your eyes.
Look at me, buddy. And where'd you get that shirt? Is that our shirt? I
Yeah.
want that one.
Look at his eye. Pinkies, come
I
over
can't
here.
see it.
I know. Ugh.
Look. Oh,
It's like
buddy.
he's like it's half closed. He like can't open it. It's like so sad.
Oh my gosh, poor baby. Have you put a warm
He every
compress on
time
it?
yeah. But no, he just keeps doing this every time I look at him. His face looks like this.
No, buddy. He like has our
Because he
little
like
lazy eye, our little drunk eye.
yeah.
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 Poor
So anyway, hang on.
bud.
I'm gonna take him outside because otherwise he's gonna just try to climb on the table the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Please stand by. We have to step away.
I'm
You are
sorry.
fine. I didn't know what was happening. I couldn't hear you, but I kept hearing you say Jesus Christ.
I had to play dirty on that one. I had to grab him by the collar and drag him, which was not very fun.
Oh
But
no. Yeah, he didn't
he
want to go out.
no, he knew what toys I was using to lure him, and then he would grab them
Oh,
and then run back inside.
got it. He got them. He read between the lines. Okay.
Yeah, he's not happy right now, but he'll be fine in an hour when he takes some trazodone. Okay, anyway.
Anyway, where are we?
That's why I drink, because he's just gonna be like that for the next week because I can't take him to the dog park. So
Yeah, that blows. Sorry about that.
yeah.
Well, I hope you get to go for your birthday.
Thank you. I hope I get to go as well, just to have a breather for a second.
Uh,
Anyway, we have 6 stories this time.
yeah, and I want to say we are excited because this is the first one we get to say. It was a topic sent in by a patron, Kristine, not me. Uh, she, her, who submitted the topic of Massachusetts. And
Okay.
so that's kind of a fun little twist. We did have a Patreon selection today.
Yeah, I like the idea of giving people a chance to submit something interesting in Massachusetts. I feel like there's got to be a lot of stuff there. I mean,
That's right.
Salem,
Yeah,
you know.
true, true. Our old apartments.
Our old apartments, yes, those the most haunted things in the world.
They
Did you ever have a
probably
ghost at your old place?
one time you literally made this face at me and you went back then and you were like, "You don't want to know." And I was like, "What?"
I do remember feeling, I can't remember if it was yours or one of our other friends' apartments, but I remember feeling something really fucking weird in one of the
And then you like
apartments.
left and were like, "Anyway, you have a ghost in your house. Bye." Which I feel like you do still to this day. But
I
I
get
never went to
weird
yours,
vibes,
did
but
I?
no, and also I got the exact same feeling at my place too. I really thought there was
I mean, it was
something.
a basement of those old ass buildings, so I never like saw or felt anything really, but I was like a little scared. Like I would like I didn't want to know, you know.
There's some rooms that I just get a weird vibe from. I remember getting it from someone's apartment in
I
Boston.
think
Must
it
have been
was
yours.
mine.
Um. Anyway, glad you're not there anymore. Now you're in a new house with a new ghost.
Yep. Boo boo.
Boo boo, Mister. I don't even want to say his name 3 times because I feel
I
like
actually
it'll.
feel like we have to stop. We must stop.
Do you want to do the honors? Number
Oh,
1.
I would love to. This is number one. This is called UMass is Haunted AF.
Okay.
Where is UMass?
I know you.
Worcester?
Is it? I know like UMass Amherst.
Oh, that's right. Listen,
Doesn't matter.
they're
UMass.
making it too complicated. It says it has 6 different. Okay, forget it. I'm over it. Okay,
So
Allie,
At least one of the 6.
One of those probably, or a satellite campus. Who the hell knows? Allie, I'm sorry I'm yelling at you. Allie uses they, them pronouns. Thank you, Allie, for submitting this. It's called UMass's Haunted AF, and it goes as follows. Dear Christine M. Eva, associated significant others. That's really good for, like, the longevity of the show, right? Like, maybe
100%.
in 20 years, we'll all be mixed up. Who knows?
Who knows? Me and Blaze,
You never know. That's
could
exactly
be
what I was
crazy.
picturing, too. Just, like, swap them around,
Yeah.
Spice things up. Dear Christine M. Eva, associated significant others, babies, both fur and human, and petrified citrus. So I went to college at University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth. Well, I could have waited
Okay.
literally 5 seconds, but no. I went to college at University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth, and that campus is haunted as fuck. There's a lot of urban legends, such as the school was built by a Satanist. To be fair, all the benches around the school say 666. I'll
What?
include a picture.
Why?
The original buildings form a pentagram, and there's a rumor there are 666 external steps on campus, but I never counted. The way I would
would.
have wandered around counting the fucking steps.
That would have been my first Saturday on campus.
You and I would have met in the middle, like,
Do you know how beyond pissed I'd be if I'm lost count?
can you imagine we both run into each other going 642? And then wait, shit, I was counting, you messed me up. And then we
You
have to
almost
start all over.
You have to like scratch them off as you go or something. Because what if you think like, what if someone says like, "Oh, did you get that random corridor?" And you're like, "I don't know, I don't remember."
You really got to leave a little, I don't know what though. Like, I don't want you to litter, but yeah, you got to leave a mark on it somehow.
I feel like here's what you do. This is easy. You get 666 friends, and then you make each of them stand on a step,
Very
and
true.
then you walk around campus and see if you can find any other steps.
Fill everybody, and everybody has a number. But you have
Yeah.
to remember, oh no, but then then you have to count all the people.
No. You give everyone a number first.
Okay.
Make each of them pick a stair. And then when all 666 say, "We're on a step," if you walk around and see another empty step, you know there's...
I see.
Or if those people say, "I can't find any more steps," then you know that there's less than 666.
What if 436 is in the bathroom again?
Well, okay.
Then
so
we've
maybe,
got a problem.
look, I'll think about it.
We need a new friend is what that means.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Allie. Let's see. I can't believe you never counted the stairs, Allie, first of all. Em and I
Really
already have a huge
embarrassing.
plan with all our 664 friends.
100%.
There are corridors that lead into walls, staircases that just go up into the ceiling, and everything is just sad gray. We made the news, oh my God, for a missing student known as Neo Maximus, and again because one of the Boston Marathon bombers attended here. What in the fuck?
Oof.
This
That's
is
a
bad
lot.
vibe. Talk about going into a room with bad vibes.
I feel like I would go onto that campus and go, "You don't want to know," and then just
Yeah,
walk
you
away.
would, and then you would just fucking walk away and leave everyone. Well, guess what? My freshman dorm was really bad, it says. For
Great.
whatever reason, my suite was always empty. I never saw anyone in the bathrooms or in the hallway. What the fuck? So you were alone in there? That's like, you'd think that'd be good.
Was
but it
that an
sounds
abandoned building that you
creepy.
accidentally got access to? Sounds
Maybe
like
they
you were
just ran out
alone.
of rooms and they were like, go in there and find a bed.
That's so weird.
I never saw anyone in the bathrooms or in the hallways once I got to my third floor room. I had a roommate, but after a few weeks, she met a guy and basically moved in with him. I had a wardrobe that used to rattle at night. There was a mirror attached to the inside of one of the doors. I hate mirrors and always have, so I kept that door closed all the time. One night, desperate to stop the rattling, I opened the doors and it did stop. I tried closing just the door with the mirror on it and it would start again. Since I know I was the only one on my floor, I usually didn't lock my door at night. Incredibly stupid, I know, but sometimes if my cousin was on campus late, she'd come over and crash. Listen, we've all been there. I get
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm sure I didn't lock my door as often as I should have.
Mm-hmm.
My door started opening in the night. Uh-oh. At first
Whoopsie
I
daisy.
assume it's not the cousin, I guess. I'm
Yeah.
assuming here. At first I assumed maybe the wind had blown it open, but it was an incredibly heavy metal door. It also didn't open and shut. It was made so that it automatically shut unless so it was like being held
Ew.
open. Yeah, forget it.
Yeah, no thanks.
I saw a shadow standing in the doorway staring at my bed.
Oof.
After a while of and then it's like, "Hey cuz, I'm drunk."
Can you help me?
I just threw up in my hair.
Mr. Gwinish just I fruit up.
Mr.
Yeah.
Quidditch it's me.
It's actually just Hank at the door, be like,
It's
"Help
just,
me."
yeah, who knew? It was just my sleep paralysis demon was Hank throwing up on Mr. Glittershoes. After a while of pretending to be asleep, The door slowly closed. Oh, God.
Oh my gosh.
This happened every time I didn't lock my door at night. The worst building on campus is the art building. The walls leak even when there is no rain or snow. I know of no students.
What? Like they're crying? What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, and it's blood. Wait, what? I know of no students who will be in there alone at night. I couldn't even sit in there with friends. It was so creepy. One night I was sitting outside of it studying under one of the lights because of a bad roommate situation. I could see a shadow standing at the door, very obviously watching me and my friend. I assumed it was a student or janitor, but my friend, after about 10 minutes, insisted we move. When I asked why, she shook her head, and only after we couldn't see the door anymore did she say it was because of the shadow person watching from the doorway.
Okay,
She
Leona,
was
relax.
right. It's just my friend.
It's just
She-
Mr. Boo Boo.
Mr.
Yeah.
Boo Boo. That's horrible. We said it again. We promised we wouldn't say it again. We both fucking said it again. And we gave him a title. I mean, what are we
Oh.
thinking? She was a very scientific minded person, and I had never heard her mention even believing in anything paranormal before. This sounds like Leona all over again.
Mm-mm.
Okay, this is the last two paragraphs here. The scariest single incident happened when I was living in the campus apartments. One night, I had a series of bad dreams. I was getting hurt, my animals were getting hurt, and I woke up feeling sick. I left my room to go to the bathroom, and the whole time, all I could think about was that scene from The Lord of the Rings when the ring wraiths are stabbing the empty beds the hobbits are supposed to be
Ugh.
sleeping in. That's my nightmare.
What?
I don't know what that is. I must have seen it at some point, but I do remember as a kid being so scared that someone would stick a knife up my mattress.
Well,
Is that not a normal
officially,
fear?
well, it is today for me.
Oh, okay. It was like one of my childhood fears. I must have heard it in like a campfire story or something.
Well,
I don't know.
I think you saw it in Nightmare on Elm Street, maybe, because that was like a thing that happens.
Oh, I mean,
his
I've certainly
claws
never
go
seen
through
that
the bed.
film, but I've probably seen like the clip or the concept of it or something. Because it like is still to this day one of my weird like middle of the night
That's like when
paranoias.
if I ever am like this,
Yes,
it's always at my exposed wrists, or like if I sleep like this on a
your
plane, I'm
neck. I
thinking about
know.
my neck.
I
Yeah,
have to
it's
cover
just,
my neck too.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. I was freaked out and spent. Okay, so the knife thing. So okay, terrible dreams. Wakes up, goes to the bathroom. They are thinking they're thinking, hey, you remember that time those ring wraiths stabbed all the beds? I was freaked out and spent 10 minutes just sitting there in the comforting light of the bathroom. Eventually, I talked myself into going back to bed. As soon as I got back into my bed, my door started to slam.
No.
This wasn't completely unusual, as it frequently rattled since it was loose in its frame and I slept with the window open. Again, I never locked my door. This time, not stupid, as our apartment door was locked and I knew and liked all my roommates. This wasn't the rattling, though. This sounded like something huge pounding on the door.
Ugh.
Something told me to get up and lock my door, so I did. As soon as it was locked, I saw the handle start to move and rattle.
Shut up.
I quickly got into bed, and then the banging resumed. I spent the rest of the night trying not to be afraid because I know fear gives power. Yeah, that's the ultimate, like, catch-22. Like, don't
I
be
know.
afraid. That'll make it worse. Like, what?
Yeah. I'm just like,
Okay.
I'm not, as like
Yeah.
tears are streaming down my face.
I know.
Like, I'm not
You're
afraid
right.
of you.
I'm not scared at all. I tried to write it off, but the next day, the roommate I was with, or I was the least close with, came to visit me at work. She asked if I was okay because when she had gone to bed the night before, she looked down the hallway, and the hallway outside my room had been black. Not dark, but black. The kitchen light had been on, and she said it was almost like something was sucking the light out of the room. And she wanted her prayer group to come over. I said,
I would-
sure. I
I'd be
love
like,
this.
bring them on down, please.
I'll make cookies. Come on. I said, sure. I'm not religious, and she knew, which is why she asked for permission. But I still went home for the weekend, so hopefully whatever it was would lose track of me. Thankfully, I have not had problems since the end.
That's so weird that you didn't have problems after that, because I would think that's the beginning of the end, not the
That
end of it all.
feels like the beginning of the like final act, like or the second
Yeah.
act. Like, oh, the prayer group came over, and now everything's like. But maybe that's maybe that's too story. Like maybe you've escaped unscathed.
Maybe, but also like, who the hell was that prayer group? Because they need to like be on a hotline. Because
Maybe they are. Maybe they're like the UMass. Maybe that's why they thrive at UMass Dartmouth, like because it's
Maybe.
just the
They're-
spot where all the cleansings need to
the
happen.
strongest religious groups are at Dartmouth because you need them.
Well, with 666 stairs, somebody has to be religious.
I feel like as a someone in their prayer group, someone's scared of being on those stairs. Or like, what if
Big
you hit
time.
every stair before you graduate? What does it mean? Do you unlock something?
I don't know. That feels like my OCD would immediately latch onto that, though. Catch me
So
counting the stairs again.
we've got 666 stairs and also being ripped apart from the inside through my mattress. Okay,
hmm
got it. All
With a
right.
big, big blade.
Right, sorry. Big, right.
hmm Yeah, I heard some big news that when I was ill, Juniper and Moonshine took over the Smalls advertisement campaign. Is that correct, Em?
That is, they sent me a text and they said, "Don't even worry about doing the ads. I got it."
Okay, well, apparently they have a lot to say, and I can confirm because they're obsessed with this stuff. We got the Smalls box in the other day, and if you haven't heard of it, Smalls cat food is protein-packed recipes made with preservative-free ingredients you'd find in your fridge, and it's delivered right to your door. And that's why Cats.com named Smalls their best overall cat food. And I think Juniper was on the jury of that as well because he really won't leave me alone. Now, just like Geo, it's like, what have I done to myself?
88% of cat owners reported overall health improvements, which is
Of
obviously a
orange.
big deal.
hmm
And the team at Smalls is so confident that your cat will love their product that you can try it risk-free, and that means they'll refund you if your cat won't eat their food. That's like such a ringing endorsement. For a limited time only, because you are an And That's Why We Drink listener, you can get 35% off Smalls plus an additional 50% off your first order by using my code DRINK. Our code DRINK. Sorry, Kristine. Wow.
How dare you? That's an additional 50% off when you head to smalls.com and use promo code DRINK. Again, that's promo code DRINK for an additional 50% off your first order plus free shipping at smalls.com.
Meow.
I almost did that.
So let's see. This next one is from Tori, who's a she, her pronouns. Thank you for normalizing pronouns. And the subject line, I told you, Salem. Salem Febreeze ghost.
Febreeze. Okay.
Love that. Okay. It says, "Hello, M, Christine, and Eva. I wanted to write in and tell y'all about a spooky thing that happened to me while in Salem. I was born and raised in Massachusetts, so that meant multiple elementary school field trips to Salem. Plus,
Lucky.
I know, but I also imagine like being someone from Massachusetts. It's like me going to the White House.
No,
It's
you're
like
right.
that sounds dope, but as someone who had to go every year, I'm like, please fucking
It's
never
like
make
how
me go
everyone in
again.
like Southern California gets on their senior trip to go to Disney with the whole class and stuff. And I was always like, that's crazy. And now I'm like, that sounds like a pain in the ass.
I'm jealous of my mom because she had that where she got to graduate and then had a Disney day. But like Disney shut down for the high school back
Oh,
then.
and she was in Florida, right? So like that's Disney
Yeah.
World. That's crazy. That's so
That's just-
cool.
They
Like
got the
that would be the
whole
dream trip
amusement
for
park by
sure.
themselves. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
that's the dream.
I just found pictures of it recently and I was like, were you in Disney alone? What
That's-
happened?
That's so not fair.
Like, but I have to go to the fucking White House one
Can
more
they?
time,
I
please.
know, right? And they don't shut that shit down for me.
No.
Can they shut to Salem down for us? Because that would be my dream. Just
I would
not
love
shut
that.
it down, but just like
Keep it
for fast
incredibly
pass.
open, but get
Fast
everyone
pass,
else
yeah.
out there. What about you?
Yeah.
What was your like big thing every year in Cincinnati?
I'm trying to remember what we did. We did a lot of random shit, like the gem trip. We drove to North Carolina and like panned for gold.
Sounds cool.
Normal. That was pretty cool. And then we had we would go to Serpent Mound, which was my favorite, which are like the effigy mounds made by the tribes up here. And those were always just so cool to me. And what else? I mean, we went to DC in 8th grade because it's
Oh,
only like
we
an
went
8-hour
to
drive.
Philly in 8th grade.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we didn't go to Philly. I think that was a little too far for my Catholic school to be bringing a bunch of kids in clad uniforms to Philly.
We were the like beta testing year. Like we were the first one where they ever
Oh,
tried it with. And
interesting.
so any mistakes that they made on our trip officially like don't happen anymore. But that I guess now every year when you are an 8th grader as like a congrats you're about to go into high school, they like we're trusting you with responsibility. That's like the whole moral of it. It's like we're gonna take you on a big overnight group trip.
To Philly?
To like a town. Ours was
Oh,
Philly.
I see.
And I remember like people like snuck out of the hotel rooms
Oh,
and
God.
brought alcohol, and everyone was like 13. We were
I was gonna say,
literal
isn't that
children.
8th grade? We were such a I was, well, I mean, at least I was such a baby. I remember we were like telling ghost stories and eating Twizzlers, and we got in trouble for being up too late. Like that's what I was doing.
I remember playing baseball in our hotel room and like just hearing the thud of the baseball hit the wall
LOL.
every time.
And I remember my math teacher walked over and she had on it was just like one of those moments where you were like seeing a teacher out of school, but she's also in her bathrobe and she had this silk bathrobe and matching eye mask and it was all leopard print, like faux fur. And we were just like,
What is she, Miss Hannigan?
I mean, we were stunned. We were like, are we seeing this? Are we all seeing this? So it was a highlight of the trip for sure.
Beautiful.
Well,
Well,
it was
this
because the toilet flooded, so that was the problem. But Um, anyway.
Anyway, Tori went to Salem.
Oh, right. Sorry. Can we go back to that?
Yeah. Many multiple elementary school field trips to Salem. Plus, I perform in a monthly shadow cast of Rocky Horror Picture Show in the Witch City Mall. Oh my god, that's so cool.
What? That's awesome.
I am no stranger to Salem, but this was my first personal paranormal experience. This past weekend was my birthday. Happy birthday. And
Mhm.
my long distance girlfriend was visiting from Cincinnati. And when I finally figured out what I wanted to do, I booked us a room at the haunted Hawthorne Hotel. Isn't that where we stayed?
That is where I booked us. Am I your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Hang on,
Hang
I'm
on a second.
confused, Tori.
Who's Tori, Christine?
That's
You
none
wanna
of your
tell us?
business.
Okay. I'd always wanted to spend the night at this hotel and hope that something spooky would happen while we were there. Rumor has it that 3 and 6 are the most haunted floors.
Yeah,
I
we
remember
stayed.
being on 3.
I think we were on 3 or 2.
I remember
Yeah.
climbing a bunch of fucking stairs with our tour
Well, I
equipment.
do remember that too, and I remember going, oopsie, and then everyone was like, classic Kristine, booking a haunted place with no elevator. Yeah.
It seems to be your favorite thing to do.
There was one creepy thing that happened while we were there, and it was somebody knocked on my door like really loudly, and I assumed it was you or Eva, so I went and like whipped open the door and there was nobody there. And I remember like immediately texting and being like, where is everyone? Like right now. And Eva was upstairs, you were out. That was I remember that being like very jarring, but that was the only thing. I slept with the bathroom light on. I was really freaked out.
I slept with all the lights on.
Yeah, you did too.
Anytime you tell me we're staying in a hotel that's haunted, I know I'm sleeping with all the lights on.
Oh
that night.
no! Well, okay. I didn't realize I caused you so much turmoil.
I fall asleep eventually.
Okay.
With enough
Okay.
TikTok, anything's possible.
Oh yeah, that's what they say.
So rumor has it 3 and 6 are the most haunted floors. We ended up on 5. However, we were across the hall from one of the most haunted room numbers, just one floor down. So I'll take it. So they were like catty corner.
Oh,
kind
I
of.
see. So they're like proximity wise pretty close.
Yeah. While my girlfriend was in the shower before checkout, I went down to the lobby to get her a cup of coffee. And as soon as I opened our hotel room door, I was hit with a very nice but strong smell. I saw the maid's cart to my left and figured they had just Febreeze the hallway or something. When I get in the elevator, there wasn't an elevator when we were there. This has to be a different hotel.
Watch it be like a completely fucking different hotel. That's embarrassing.
Or there was always
Or
an
there was
elevator
an
and we
elevator,
didn't
which
know about
actually
it.
is probably worse. That would be worse on me. That would be worse on me because
I have a feeling that's what happened here.
that would make really not happy. Oh
We
no,
were-
this is not where we stayed. We stayed at because this is like a bigger hotel. We stayed at like a small house.
Was it the
It's that haunted building.
oh, that one
Shut
in
up.
Salem? Type in that haunted building in Salem.
I
and see what
did.
happens.
The Joshua Ward house.
Yeah, that's where we stayed.
I told you it worked.
Fun fact, no elevator there, everyone.
Fun fact, no elevator, but they did have really cool decor and somebody knocked on the door really loud while I was in there.
And they have an excellent bathroom light that stays on all night.
That's
too, so.
exactly true. And you know what? That's just priceless.
So, okay, we're at a different
Sorry,
one.
we're at a different fucking hotel.
Hawthorne Hotel with an elevator. When I get in the elevator, the smell is just as strong as it was outside, and I finally figured out what the smell was. It was apples. I like the smell of
Oh,
apples.
that's specific.
When I got off the elevator, I got the coffee, and it took less than a minute. When I got inside the elevator again, the smell was gone. When I got off at our floor, the smell was totally gone too. It was too strong of a scent and too short of a trip for it to have dissipated that quickly. On the land where the Hawthorne Hotel was built, once was an apple orchard of the apple orchard of Bridget Bishop. Sounds like an old
Oh.
Massachusetts name.
That Bridget Bishop was she was famous.
Was the first person to be tried for the crime of
yes.
witchcraft and was found guilty and hanged on June 10th, 1962.
Oh my god.
1962? That has to be 1662.
1692 actually.
1692. Yeah, I was like, hang on. That was when my mom was born. Hang on.
Oh my god, yeah. That's when everything changed.
Yeah.
So it's 1692. Okay.
1692. Apparently, smelling apples throughout the hotel is something common that happens. And once I figured out that I was smelling apples in the elevator, I was shook. When we left
That's
our room,
crazy.
my girlfriend checked the maid's cart, and neither of the Febreze scents were apple. I'm glad that you checked because I
I'm
would have
so
been
glad you checked. Yeah.
skeptical. Hope you have the best day. Stay spooky and come visit Salem again because we've already done that.
Love to. I would love to. That's creepy. The apple scent is so specific too. Like when you smell something apple scented, you know it's apple.
And it makes me this is like me overthinking it, but in my mind I'm like, if you're from 1692 or 1962 and like maybe the like where your perfume would just be like a bunch of fruit rubbed on you probably,
That's
right?
true
Like
too. Yeah,
so maybe maybe she just rolled around in apples back in the day. I don't know.
maybe. Or maybe the land was the site of an apple orchard.
Oh damn, maybe that one too. That would have been a
Well,
place where we have a machine called the Ovilus and
I was literally hoping you'd bring that up.
you know you say it. You say it
Oh,
best.
we have this fucking thing that like talks in this creepy Microsoft. It goes like, "Hello, dictionary mode," and it like talks in this creepy Microsoft Sam voice. But like it spits out these words and it has this dictionary. But for some reason, every time we use it, it goes like apple,
It
orchard,
always says apple and orchard. Always.
always. And if we had not looked up this hotel, we probably would have assumed this is where we stayed, and we would have probably made some big story about it. But it's not where we stayed, and
You know what's wild is if we brought that machine to the Hawthorne Hotel and it said Apple Orchard, we would have been like, "Oh, this thing's broken
finally.
again."
Oh, yeah, it's
Oh.
broken, right, we wouldn't have even known. We would have been like, "Oh man," and then we wouldn't have known we got a real ghost.
Mhm. Anyway,
Okay,
thank you for
anyway.
writing.
This is from Lauren, she, her. It's called Haunted Book. No wonder M hates to read. That's
I'm
the whole
gonna
subject.
I'm gonna sit with that and see where we go from here before
Yeah,
I make a
maybe Em
comment.
has some new, like, insight, you know?
You're probably onto something. I'm gonna hear
Mm.
you out. I'm gonna hear you out.
Hello, friends. I apologize for the lack of quirky intro, but I'm writing on my phone while desperately avoiding work.
That's
Nailed
great.
it. Picture it. Fall River, Massachusetts.
Oh.
This is nothing to do with Lizzie Borden. She's not the only ghost up in this place, although arguably the most interesting.
Mhm.
Many, many, many years ago, two adorable preteen girls were excitedly scouring the Scholastic book order form from school
Oh,
for, oh, the dream, for any
heaven.
books on ghosts. Oh my gosh.
See, that's where I would have thrived in the book world is if
Big time. Well,
yeah.
here you go. Success. They found one and ordered it immediately. So I'm assuming that this is Lauren talking about herself as a preteen.
Okay.
They found one and ordered it immediately. And by immediately, I mean they waited the eternity that it took for these book orders to come into school. I hated that wait.
Mhm.
When finally they received their book, titled Phone Call from a Ghost, they sat together in a dimly lit room and took turns reading the chapters of true ghost stories aloud. When spooky time was over, they went to bed. Later that night, one of them, me, couldn't sleep and grabbed the book for something to occupy her time. She thumbed through the pages and noticed that chapter 10 was in there twice. She
Hmm.
didn't remember it being like that, but she woke her pal up for confirmation. Her friend sleepily confirmed that she didn't believe it was like that and then drifted back off to sleep. I dismissed it as a printing mistake. Those books were cheap after all, and went back to sleep. The next day, this girl took her book home and decided to reread chapter 10 to see what it was about. Because it was in there twice, maybe it was twice as interesting, she joked to herself.
Hmm.
I'm always cracking myself up like that.
Hysterical. Like
I love
10,
your
10 out of
commentary
10.
on your. I love it. 10 out of 10. But when she got to the page, chapter 10 wasn't in there at all.
Ew, so it was there twice and then 0?
Yeah.
I hate that. So wait, you conjured up a story and then just copy and pasted it? That's kind of like lazy thinking, isn't it?
You
You know?
conjured up a story. What?
If you created a story that doesn't exist anymore in there, or do you think it was a story that someone else wrote?
Oh, I assumed that.
In my mind, I would think that I had come up with a completely fake story and then it was like reappearing as if I was dreaming it. Like
Oh.
like almost like I was creating lorem ipsum. Like it was just a bunch of additional text for no reason in this book.
Oh, I see. Like in your sleep?
I guess so. I would have tripped myself up and thought I was coming up with it in my own head.
But so for the first one, it was that the chapter 10 was in there two times, right?
It was in there twice and then it was 0, but I would have thought in my own head like I clearly came up with the
But
extra
why would it skip
chapters.
from 9 to 11?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like to have a whole chapter missing is also very weird. To see it twice is weird, double printed, and then to see it not at all?
I'm telling you, I would sit there for hours and
I'm so confused. This is like mind-boggling.
I no matter what happens, I would still I would wonder about every scenario that could have happened.
Me too. Yeah, my brain hurts, honestly. It says what the actual fuck. Chapter 10 was not in there at all. She immediately called her pal to come over because they lived in the same building and explained what happened. She threw the book at her and demanded she look, and the lack of chapter that had once been doubled. Her
Mm.
face, sorry, her friend's face turned white. Chapter 10 was back. It was now there only once, and chapter 13 was now in there twice, but it had moved to before chapter 10.
This is like that coloring book that changes from like no lines to like blank to colored. You know what I mean?
Oh, where you, yeah.
Where like it jumps around, the pages totally like switch themselves. Oh my gosh, that's I would honestly burn the book. I would be like,
My head is like, I can't. And
I
the
would
fact that it's a book about ghosts, a phone call from a ghost is so fun. Like, this is
I
a
would
kid's,
bury
as a
it.
kid, this is my dream, though. Like a haunted book, this is my dream. I would read every day if this happened to me.
No, I totally get now why the subject line was
Yeah.
defending me not wanting to read. I would never touch that book again.
No, I get it. I get
I
it.
would gift it to my worst enemy. And
Okay,
say, "Good
well,
luck."
apparently she, as in me, it says, shouted, "You take it," and threw it at her friend.
Good,
Her
good.
worst enemy. I mean, her friend. She said, "I clearly cannot handle this book." So her pal reluctantly took the book and hid it at the bottom of her closet. That would be me. I would be like, "I'll take it," and then I would get scared and hide it in my closet.
I feel like wherever it is, like let's say you put it in that closet for the rest of time, like you would hear banging on that
Yeah,
closet or
something weird would
something.
happen, like scratching
Ugh,
noises or something.
I hate this.
The next day, when getting dressed, it's not even over yet. The next day, when getting dressed, the girl, me, opened her drawer to get a pair of socks, and the book,
I
stop
don't
it,
I don't even want to hear. Just
was
actually don't tell me.
was laying on the top of her sock drawer.
I just don't. I am unhappy.
The girl was furious and thought her friend was playing a cruel joke on her and snuck downstairs and slipped the book into her into her room when she wasn't there. She stormed upstairs with the book in her hand and was about to yell at her friend, but her friend saw the book in her hand and was visibly shocked. She ran to her closet and found it wasn't there. The girls had enough. Something about this book just felt wrong. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
girl.
Which is insane because it came from a weekly book order from school, Catholic school nonetheless. They tried ripping out the pages. They would come back. Eventually, the book had to be burned and the activity stopped.
Like, come on.
Okay, listen to
Also,
this. Recently,
what?
I looked it up and can get a copy on Amazon. I'm tempted to buy it and see what happens, but also, eek! And then, of course, linked it. Thanks for being you. Much love, Lauren. And it says, does this submission look like spam? And I'm going to say, report now.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Report the whole thing.
Okay, I got the book, Em. I'm gonna. Ew, it's and the picture's so creepy. I actually do remember this book from back in the day.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
that's
send
a
it to you
that's
real
a great
quick.
thing that they just mentioned at the end there of like it was.
Bye. I love you. Where are you going? The trampoline park. Have fun. You can give me one hug, but I really gotta record, okay? You don't
Uh-oh.
take your shoes off, baby.
What conundrum?
What, honey? To take your shoes off
Yeah,
for the
you have
bed?
to take your shoes off. You don't want to be dirty in the bed.
That's really a good point. I can't
Idiot.
argue with I can't argue with that. Okay.
Daddy's gonna love having to put the shoes back on. That'll be really
Mhm.
fun.
Come on. Gotta come in. Gotta commit to the bit, girl. Here, I'll give you a
Hi, Leona. Hi, Leona. How are you?
Good.
You're gonna go to the trampoline park. You're gonna jump around.
Yeah.
Are you gonna jump really, really high?
Yeah.
Are you gonna jump? How far are you gonna jump? You think really far?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so jealous of you. Are you gonna go with Daddy?
Yeah.
What are you gonna have? Are you gonna eat something later too? Are you gonna have lunch or dinner later? What are you gonna eat?
We also have snacks at the trampoline park.
What kind of snacks? You got chips or candy?
We got goldfish and peanut butter crackers and animal crackers and
Wow, peanut butter crackers are some of my favorites. I hope you eat some of those.
They don't have cotton candy.
Popcorn?
gummies.
Gummies. I love gummies. You can have some gummy bears, maybe?
We don't have gummies, only gummies.
I see. Well, I hope you have fun.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Peace.
Daddy's coming. She's in trouble.
Oh.
She told Blaze she was going potty. And she
Maybe she can keep a secret.
She left her shoes down there too, because she can't get into bed without shoes, Blaze.
The sigh was crazy. That was
The sigh is like the normal language we speak nowadays. We've stopped saying everything okay because like the answer is usually no. Okay, sorry. Blaze was like, "Are you okay in there?" And then he's like, "Where are you?" And then I heard him coming up the stairs, and Leona went, "Bye."
Gotta go. Gotta
Gotta
blast.
go, gotta blast. Sorry. Okay, so I sent you this picture, phone call from a ghost.
Yeah, it's
I remember this picture.
I remember seeing that book and also weirdly not wanting it. Like
I was
remember
scared of it. I remember
Yeah.
being genuinely scared of it. So if you're listening, it has a skeletal like grandma, like a skeleton of a grandma with like a what are these called? A shawl, and like she's
shawl.
like dialing a rotary phone, and
It's
with
like grandma like hung out by the phone for too long and is now dead.
yeah, it's sort of Bates Motel vibes,
You know, there's something to be said. I hope if anyone out there is listening and knows about where I could find information on this, there's got to be a study done on why in the 80s and 90s the children's books were like not afraid to terrify you. Like the
Well,
covers.
because I think even before that, they were even more traumatizing, right? Like
it's
before
like
that, it was like
spillover from like Strulpita or
right,
something.
exactly. Like before that, it was like, hey, all your fingers will be cut off if you snore at night, and it's like, well, what the fuck? It feels like they're like, let's make it more kid friendly, and then they came up with this shit.
I wonder what the shift was then, because I feel like if you saw this book today in a store, nobody would buy it. No children would want it.
I'm looking here in the reviews. Oh my gosh. Okay, Johnny says, I know these types of books are for kids, but it was creepy, and I'm an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I mean, listen, people say they still like it, but I don't think we need to test it out.
No, I'm happy. I am very excited that you guys burned it. Thank you. I feel like witchcraft wise, maybe that's not the right thing to do, but it seemed to work for you guys in that moment.
Yeah,
so.
and you kind of called it in the beginning, so it feels like you were all on the same page about what to do.
I had a hunch.
Yeah, you did.
Well, thank you for that. The next story we have is from Adeline, who uses any pronouns, a triple threat.
Hey.
And I love this. The subject line is Frankenstein's furry tried to kill me.
What?
I can't even begin to tell you.
What could that mean? What could that possibly mean?
Adeline says, hey, Eva, Christine, M, and everyone. I've been a listener since the very beginning, and my dad actually introduced me to you guys. Can you imagine someone's dad listening to us? That's crazy.
From the beginning? No.
Well, hi, Adeline's dad.
Hi, Mr. Adeline.
Mr. A. You may not want to hear this. Great way to start this. But that means I was 12 when I started listening to you.
Forget it. You said I don't want to hear it. You were correct the first time.
By the way, I got recognized last time I was home, and someone said, I've been listening to you since I was 10. And I literally cried the next day.
That's the kid who buys this fucking book with dead grandma on the front. Like, they have issues.
Every time I get recognized by someone who is obviously younger than us, I'm like, what are you about to say to me? I'm like, I am about to feel so old.
My hair is about to turn gray in front of your very eyes.
When they said I've been listening since I was 10, I was like, I'm geriatric. This is crazy.
I am an elderly person. I'm a senior citizen.
Anyway, I like to know that our show spans all ages.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know something's wrong. I said something's wrong with them, obviously, but something's wrong with all of us. So they're just coming here early.
Well, Adeline says, yeah, they've been listening since they were 12. Yikes.
Woof.
I've always appreciated how funny you guys are. Yeah, say more things like that, Adeline. And how
when you were 10.
And how open you are talking about mental health and gender identity queerness. The podcast has definitely been a huge safe space for me. I'm 19 now. Oh my God.
Wow.
It's like half your life you've been
Oh
listening to us.
my God. But I'm so proud all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, we've been with you this whole time.
It's very sweet. Some context for the story is I work at a raw dairy and farm store in rural Massachusetts. I love that.
Holy shit. Okay.
My regular shift is weekend mornings, milking cows and then bottling the milk for sale. I love that. This is usually 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., but every once in a while I pick up an evening shift. Those shifts don't include bottling, so they are much shorter and usually go from 5 to 7 or 8. Okay, good context. Thank you. So one particular night I was sorry.
I was
It's like
coughing.
the ghost don't want me to tell the story. So one particular night, I was covering someone and working a night shift, and I had gotten to work around 5 and started my regular chores of sanitizing all the equipment and so forth. It was a night in late fall, so the sun was going down about the time I was heading out to bring the cows down for the milking. I wasn't a fan
Same.
of that. Yeah, me too. I've done all
We've
sorts of
all
labor
been
like
there.
that. I wasn't a fan of that as it meant all my cleanup chores. I had to do all my cleanup chores, and my walk back out to close the cows into their segment of the pasture would be completely in the dark.
No.
And lucky for me, that night the pasture was all the way at the end of the road across another street. Oof. So fast forward through the milking, I let the last cow out of the milk parlor. Love that it's called a milk parlor.
Hello, I love this.
That's where I should be every time I'm chugging my cup of cow moo juice. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, I banned that phrase many years ago, and secondly, you can call it whatever the hell you want as long as you stop saying moo juice.
I'm just saying, if I ever had a bar and and chocolate milk was on the menu, it would be called the milk parlor, or an ice cream place called the milk parlor. That's great.
I mean, it's pretty good.
I let the last cow out of the milk parlor and follow them up to say goodnight. That's precious. Once I secured the pasture gate, I walked down the farm road by myself. Of course, the headlamp I brought had died, and my phone flashlight wasn't doing anything in that misty New England night. So I was basically walking blind back to the barn. I'm always a little on edge walking at night, but it's open fields, and my boss lives right on the land if I have an emergency, so I'm not technically alone. But the farm store was closed at this point, and I was really the only person there.
So you are technically alone.
So technically you're not alone, but technically you're really fucking
Very
alone.
alone.
Anyway, I'm walking, usually listening to your podcast in my headphones. Well, duh, that's half the problem.
You're 12 and you're listening to our show walking through the dark after a day
What are you,
of
a
child
child
labor.
bride? Yeah.
Yeah, what's happening?
But this time I had a bad feeling and I took my headphones off and just started listening to my surroundings.
Fuck
Ugh.
me. Okay.
I felt like I could feel someone behind me. I picked up some speed, started moving quicker, and all of a sudden I hear someone behind me.
Oh, fuck. So is this I can't. All right.
I ran. When I tell you I don't run, I mean that, but I ran like hell. I'm pretty sure I was actually listening to the Goat Man episode before I turned my headphones off, and I was not about to play with that thing.
Nope.
So I get back to the barn, and I have to finish cleaning up. I felt a little better being inside, so I start to relax a bit, and I finish cleaning the milking parlor, so I turn off the lights, first mistake, and head to the washroom to clean the rest of the equipment. My headphones are back on, and then That's Why We Drink is playing, but then I hear a moo. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Did I really leave a cow out in the pasture? Is that what I ran away from? So I go back out to check, and the light switches are sort of far from the door, so I decide to use my phone flashlight. I look everywhere and anywhere that the cows could get into, and I check the gate to make sure that she didn't escape the property, but I see nothing.
What?
I'm like, okay, weird. But I went to finish washing up, and as I step out of the washroom to go back and recount the cows in that far away as fuck pasture, I hear another moo.
No.
I'm like kind of terrified that this feels like humans can lick too.
Agreed.
This feels like a man
literally-
is mooing.
After talking about Scholastic Book Fair, knives coming through the mattress, I feel like I'm in that child state of like, this campfire tale is not going to end in a cute way. Like, I'm going to have nightmares tonight.
This time it sounded like a person imitating a cow.
Yep, forget it. This is actually so bad. So bad.
I use my flashlight again and check my surroundings, bolt for the light switch as I was reaching my hand out, I hear a scream and felt someone grab my wrist.
I don't know how you ever listen to our dumb podcast ever again. I would have thrown our podcast
This simply
into the
must
trash.
be your goodbye letter to us.
Goodbye.
I literally almost shit my pants. I was so startled. I ran back into the washroom, grabbed my keys, ran to the car, and drove my ass to the other street to count the cows. You're
Wait, so you
still
didn't know
working?
Wait, you didn't know who grabbed you? Just
No, just felt someone grab her wrist and she bolted.
What the fuck?
I get there, park, and see all the cows are where they need to be. Then before I head back to my car, I see a fucking man. Like
Okay.
a shadow figure dude just chilling in the middle of the pasture, which you really can't get into any other way besides the gate unless you're crawling under or somehow over the pretty tall and very strong electric fence.
Oh. Okay, this really, seriously, I know we already said horror movie tropes, we've covered them. This is a good horror movie trope. This guy crawls under the electric fence.
Ugh.
Yeah, write that down, Eva.
And honestly, before the electric fence sentence, I was thinking like maybe this guy is like just mooing at cows. You know, like when you see like a horse or like,
You're
and you
like,
go,
nay, nay.
oh, yeah, fuck. You know, like if you were to see an animal, like maybe you would like approach it. Like if you saw a cat in the street, you go, kitty, you know, something
Yeah.
like that. Maybe someone like
Moo.
saw the cows and was going like, moo is a cow. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with something.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, I grabbed your arm because I thought you were a cow.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's not
And then I
interesting.
crawled under the electric fence.
And also, yeah, electric fence is really what sealed it for me because like no one cares that much about mooing at a cow.
Yeah, why are you doing this?
I've seen enough horror movies to know that I shouldn't have said anything, but I've also seen enough horror movies to know that people are idiots. So I said something like an idiot. I said, "Hello, boss, is that you?" No
Oh,
answer, but it
fuck.
moves closer to me.
No. Whoa. Would you have said something?
Just truly no. I wouldn't be fucking working there anymore.
I
Like
mean, you'd be
the amount
gone.
of times that homie has said, "Oh, I'm gonna go clean more equipment." Fuck that. I'm literally leaving. I'm gone.
Yeah, I literally heard I voluntarily picked up shifts, and I was like, couldn't be me. I don't voluntarily pick
The
up any
second
shifts.
that I was running and I felt someone behind me, there's
Oh,
no
yeah.
going into the other barn and cleaning for hours.
The
And
second
then
I hear a person mooing, I'm not counting the cows. I'm saying, see you later. See you never.
also, Christine, you have such wild OCD sometimes that like you wouldn't have forgotten a cow. You would have, if you heard a moo, you'd go, "I know I counted every cow 100
that
times."
is a man.
Yeah,
I would say
that is no cow.
that is certainly no cow.
Am I wrong? I feel like you'd be like, unless I miscounted
No,
300
but then
times.
you know me because also I leave my social security card on the floor of the bar, and I really would not be good
One
at
day,
counting the cows.
one day someone is going to chase you and it's going to be because they're trying to hand you back your social security card.
That has happened,
Oh my God.
but it was my debit card. It was in an ATM, and someone started chasing me down, and I got so
That's some
scared, and they said, "You
good
left
bad
your
luck. That's
debit
some
card."
and some
So
bad good luck.
stupid.
Okay, so this thing is moving closer to them.
No,
I lock
that's
my
when I leave.
doors.
That's when I leave. I would have said something, I think.
Had to hit a 3-point turn to get out of there, which wasn't very satisfying, but I did get turned around and was able to actually leave. I checked my rearview mirror, and as I got off the road, nothing was there. So I
Mm-mm.
went home and felt safe, but I wasn't.
What?
That night was the first and only time I've ever had sleep paralysis.
No, I'm telling you, sometimes the sleep paralysis shit, it's no coincidence. I don't think. I really don't.
Sleeping on my back, of course, I wake up and everything is dark. I try to check my phone to see the time, but I can't move. I try to
Mm-mm.
close my eyes, but that wasn't working either. I couldn't move at all and felt like I couldn't breathe, and there was this weight on my chest. Then I
Mm-mm.
started to see something out of the corner of my eye, and it was getting closer. It was this awful, deformed, half man, half animal,
Mm-mm.
less in a centaur way and more in a Frankenstein's furry way. It was slimy and wet and had long fingers.
What in the fuck?
Bitch, there's no way. This was scary. You don't have to tell me why. I know
This was
it was
scary
scary.
because
This was scary
in
because,
this paper, in this essay, I will prove.
in conclusion, therefore,
Conclusion.
this was scary because when I was little, I used to have nightmares that the Hat Man would put his long, spindly fingers in my ears and pierce my brain.
Hey,
Are
I'm
you
really
fucking
scared.
well? Are
Hey, this is my birthday. Why is everyone bullying us?
on my birthday week, you
I'm
send this to me?
so scared. I don't like the in the ear.
I was already not happy, and
We
now
didn't like it.
thank you though for making it worse.
We didn't want more of it.
The furry zombie guy grabbed my face and his hand covered my whole head.
I'm
I
gonna
felt
scream.
him lift me up and start shouting. I don't remember what he was saying, but I started to cry. Now?
I've been crying since we
9
started
hours
the
ago.
story.
I don't remember how long it went on or what else happened, but the next morning I woke up halfway down the stairs and I've never walked in my sleep before.
You woke up like standing
halfway
in the
down.
stairs. Oh
I
my!
swear to God, like
What in the
you need an
actual?
exorcism.
No, like for real, an exorcism. Yeah.
I also have a story about another job I worked at a night shift sat alone where I'm fairly certain someone was low key stalking me, but that's a story for another time. Oh my
I
God.
still don't even know if that was a person or a fucking demon in the field. It feels like a demon if they came, well, not demon, but you know what I mean, like a
Ugh.
entity.
Adeline, you move that story on over to Reddit, please. I don't need that over
Yeah,
here.
get that out of here.
I need to cleanse my own ears that are unpierced by the Hat Man, by the way.
Unpierced and your
And they'll
get
stay that way.
your virgin get your story away from him's virgin ears,
Please.
please.
The end. Thanks,
The
Adeline.
end. Money is really confusing and hard, and it doesn't matter how much or how little you have. I mean, it does matter, don't get me wrong, but it also doesn't matter how much or little you have. It's always confusing. It's always confused me since the day I got my very first nickel.
Oh, well, as Grandma
2
said, money
years
is
ago.
hard. Well, luckily we have Chime, and Chime understands that every dollar and nickel counts. That's why when you set up direct deposit through Chime, you get access to fee-free features like free overdraft coverage, getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit, and more. And you can learn more about that at chime.com/drink.
Yeah, Chime is really cool. It really gives you a lot of leeway to learn how money works and how to be safer with your money, which is just like invaluable. You know what I mean? Chime is banking done right. You can open a checking account with no monthly fees and no maintenance fees. Told you. And get paid up to 2 days early when you set up direct deposit.
I love getting paid early.
I know. Why
God,
don't I get
that
my
alone.
You give me a nickel once every 2 years, and I never get it early.
And I need you. I'll give you more when you appreciate it. That's what
All
I'll
right.
say.
I'm working on it.
Work on your financial goals through Chime today. Open an account in 2 minutes at chime.com/drink. That's chime.com/drink.
Chime feels like progress.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023. Chime checking account required.
Okay, this is the last one I'm going to read, and then there's one more after this. This one is from Elise, she, her, and it's called Haunted College Dorm.
Great.
Hi, ATWWD family. I hope this email finds all of you well and hope that this story makes it into the March listener stories.
Almost.
I don't know why that's so funny to me because it's like from 2 years ago.
Oh, it's not almost.
Almost. I hope this story makes it into the March listener stories after your open call for haunted dorms. I go to Mount Holyoke College in Massachusetts, a historic women's college that is a part of the 7 siblings. The college, what the fuck is that? What is that? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Oh. You just like I said, what the fuck is that? But I don't think you heard me, and you looked so placid and calm that I was like, am I just being an idiot?
No, I think I don't know.
7 sisters. I guess that's like
Sounds religious.
a group of
Is that the name of the other prayer group?
colleges. Yeah, that's the
They're all
prayer
grown
group
up
in
now.
Dartmouth. Yeah, so the
They're all
7
grown up.
sisters. Honestly, that would be such a good show though. Like calling the 7 sisters to like exercise
Yeah.
your demons. Okay, it says the 7 sisters are a group of 7 private liberal arts colleges that are historically women's colleges. So Barnard, Bryn Mawr,
Oh,
Mount Holyoke, Smith, Wellesley, Vassar, and Radcliffe.
wow. So many of those sent me emails to apply when I needed to go to college.
Wow, not a single one sent me one. So that's weird.
I've never heard all of them come together like that, but okay, good to know.
So you got all these emailed you?
Hold on, go through them again?
Barnard?
No.
Oh.
Not all of them. Some of them.
I
Sorry.
know, but the fact that it was
Not
Nope.
Barnard. The next one, Bryn Mawr. Bryn Mawr did.
Bryn Mawr,
Uh-huh.
Mount Holyoke,
No.
Smith,
Yes.
Wellesley,
Yes.
Vassar,
Yes.
and then it says Radcliffe became
No.
Harvard College. Did Harvard also reach out?
Actually, no. Not that I know of. But yeah, a few of them actually. I remember those popping up in my email and being like, "Wow, they want me to go to college," but it was probably like they just sent an email to every 17-year-old.
Yeah, well, except
Person.
me apparently, but that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Whoopsies. Anyway,
I'll recover eventually. I got an email from Ball State University and Texas A&M.
really,
Yeah, they said if you come here, we'll give you a laptop.
wow.
Almost convinced me.
My friend Tiana obviously fell for that trap because she went to A&M. So
I feel like I've asked you this before because I'm like, I almost went there for literally just a laptop.
I'm sure she got a laptop.
Okay, here we go. Why did they let 17-year-olds make decisions like that? Like, it's like a life, whatever. Okay. Let's see. So we're in March of 23 when this was supposed to be happening, but it's now instead. Okay. Um, one of the seven siblings. The college was founded in 1837 and has a lot of really cool history. Our college has one building and room that is supposedly haunted, so much so that no one on campus is allowed to live in it. A
Damn.
few of the college's presidents have spent the night in it to prove that it is not haunted. You're already losing the battle, my friend. If you have to sleep somewhere to prove it's not haunted, you're not going to win. Like,
Also, like, then that makes me wonder, like, who is determining the housing situation?
oh, good point. Because if it's too haunted and the president says, no, it's not, please use all this real estate. It's so expensive.
You would think the president would go to the housing department and be like, put people in that fucking building. I'll sleep in there to prove it. But
Good
it sounds like
point.
the housing people are freaked out more
Good
than even the
point.
students.
That's exactly kind of what it says. It says the presidents have spent the night in it to prove it is not haunted, but the room is still not available for students. Hashtag sus. So
Hmm.
yeah, so they clearly maybe met up with something they didn't like.
Yeah.
That story aside, it is actually one of the newer buildings on campus that I have a story about. During my time living on campus, I was an RA, and wow, let me just say, people be wild. Yeah, I'm certain of it. As such, I lived in a very tiny single person room. With the way the building was set up, all of the RAs had the same room on different floors, with all of us positioned directly under or over the other staff members, with exception to our captain, who had a slightly larger room in the stairwell. The building, Ham, which we fondly called Ham and Cheese, was built in the 60s and certainly looks it. It is not a very popular building to be in because it is far from campus and the rooms are pretty small. It is never included in campus stories, which is why I was shocked beyond belief that the building was hella haunted.
Hmm.
I made the mistake of having two mirrors facing each other in my room. One
Whoopsies.
one was a small desk mirror, the other a floor-length one, and my pagan bestie believes this was the start of my problems. It started with small things going missing, a hair tie, my ID card, my lucky socks, and then started to get more frustrating with things spontaneously falling over in my dorm. I always blamed it on a draft or a door closing, but one day it got so wild that I could no longer dismiss the occurrences as being a coincidence. The day in question went something like this. 1. My floor length mirror falls flat on its face, shattering.
It's like they were even saying you don't want this smoke.
The
Like,
feng shui is so bad. We'll help
you're gonna
you.
hate this. So let us do you a favor and get
We're
rid of
going
one
to
of these
close this
mirrors.
portal real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2. My potted plant across the room flies off its shelf, spilling dirt everywhere and shattering the pot. My wax melter, full of freaking hot wax, falls on my face while positioned towards the back of my desk.
That's the
And then
probably most violent ghost I've heard of.
that's really scary. Yeah, I feel like they're
In
usually
your
trying to get your
eyes?
attention, not like trying to burn you.
Hmm.
It says, ask Megan for the pics. I sent them once while trying to provide guidance for Christine about how to get wax off her sofa.
As someone who got them out of my nostrils,
My face, right? Oh my God. My favorite amethyst crystal gets thrown off my nightstand and shatters on the floor. So everything's like shattering.
I
And
hate that.
splashing. I don't like this.
I almost feel like the mirrors, like if it was an open portal, maybe so many spirits were coming through that like it almost knocked the mirror on its side. And now the portal is closed with all of them out here. So now they're
Oh my God, they got trapped in there. And now
so
they're
now
just
they're almost just kind of like pinball, bing, 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 and like knocking everything over because they're trying to find a new portal
Oh, pardon
to
me.
get
I
back
just
through.
splashed wax all over your face.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez. After this very unfortunate day, RIP my crystal and plant, comma, my face is fine. Well, that's good.
Okay.
I had my pagan friend come and smudge the room, lock all my windows and mirrors, and perform a banishing ritual. Luckily, my problems stopped, but our coworkers did not. One of our coworkers was accustomed to having people coming in and out of our room to cry. Yeah, as an RA, that feels right. And ghosts were no exception. One night she woke up. Oh, because I bet you they were RA's rooms for like decades, you know? So
Yeah.
who knows how many. One night she woke up to the sound of muffled sobs coming from the corner of her room. She groggily turned on her lamp and found a shadowed figure curled up in her chair weeping. In the
What
dim
the
light of her.
fuck?
I know. Yeah, no. No, don't sign me up for this. In the dim light of her lamp, she thought it was one of her residents and said, you can't just come in here to cry.
I
Sorry.
love
That's a
that.
great boundary, okay? You can't just come in here to cry without being let in. What the hell? The figure looked up at her and proceeded to shoo her away.
Maybe it was like an original RA being like, get out of my fucking room.
Yeah, like, what are you doing here? Disgruntled, she deadass literally just rolled over and went back to sleep, which we still tease her about to this day, saying, fine, just close the door on your way out. Sixth floor RA is on duty tonight if you need something.
Wait,
Spo-
it was a ghost, right?
Spoiler alert, her door was locked the night before and it was not a parentheses living resident.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Gotta
so
clock that.
basically woke up the next day and was like, wait a minute, the door's locked, so like nobody could have exited and
Ugh.
locked the door behind them, you know.
Mm.
Blech. Okay, other folks in the building experience their things moving on their own and objects going missing, but her story steals the creepy cake. After that, we literally smudged every hallway and all our rooms with a smoke-free option, of course. We were still RAs after all.
Of course.
Love you guys bunches. See you in Boston in April. That means we just saw you. Hugs and lemons, Elise, she, her.
Thanks, Elise.
Wow, what a
I like that
tale.
they were saying worst, obviously RAs, so we can't use a smoke option. I'd been like, fuck my job. Get this thing out of here.
Literally, yeah, but all of these stories are about us acting insane on campus by counting all the stairs and
Yeah.
then quitting every job the moment it turns scary.
Like that. Like,
Like
I'm like,
that.
why would I? Anyway, everyone who has written it is a better person than me, I guess.
Well, I don't know about that. It seems like they're having a tough time and we're just chilling, so.
Well, our final story this month is from Miranda, who uses she, her pronouns. Thank you for normalizing pronouns. And the subject line is a haunted bathtub and a possessed teen. And here's the thing.
That can't be good.
We've stayed in a lot of hotels. I can never take a bath in a hotel because I always, for some reason, there's something really eerie about a bathtub that's in a hotel. I just think of
does not
all
like
the I just think of all the naked people before me.
M thinks of the naked people or people dying in them, right?
Yeah, I think of people dying in them, and like I just feel like there's just like I'm just lying where maybe like a body was. I
What
just never
about
know.
like bleach?
If I could be guaranteed, you never know. I don't know. If I saw the bleach, maybe if I saw it being,
I get it. So it's
but
just like
still,
a mental thing. You're not comfortable. Yeah.
it's just like a weird block. I just can't do it.
I'm sure you're not
Um,
the only one.
It really freaks me out. So as soon as you say a haunted bathtub, I'm like, oh, confirmed. Great.
You're like, I don't like those. Nope.
So this is what Miranda says. Hello to everyone. When I was in 7th grade, my family was renting a house in the small town of Hampden,
Oh, Hampton.
instead of Hampton,
I see.
Massachusetts. The house we were living in was super old, built in the 1860s, and located directly across the street from a Revolutionary War era cemetery.
Cool.
The oldest grave there dates back to 1736.
Cool.
Woo! Maybe that's where my love of spooky things and history really took off, but then again, I was always kind of a weirdo. Anyway, my story isn't about the definitely haunted, creepy-ass cemetery. It's about the definitely haunted, creepy-ass house I lived in across the street. Kristine, can you stop writing into our own email?
I can't. I picked this topic, remember?
It's exhausting.
Christine with a K.
I know. The house seemed pretty normal at first, and I didn't feel anything negative about it. Yeah, it was old, but I had gotten used to the old houses in New England, and the downstairs was fully renovated, but upstairs it seemed like they gave up. Kristine, this is your house.
Oh, yeah, I know where you're going. So it's like kind of falling apart.
It seemed like they gave up by the time they got to the top floors. The
Yeah,
floors
their kids'
upstairs,
rooms.
yeah, with drawings and dirt
Let me
everywhere.
guess, that's where they put my brother and me.
The floors upstairs were like original oak wood floors with 1-inch gaps that gathered crumbs and dust and God knows what for the last 160 years.
Yep, that sounds like my room.
Been there. The cellar was the first spot in the house that gave me a horrible sinking feeling that had my heart racing and body filling with dread.
Ew.
It's an old root cellar with dirt floors. Now it's your current house, Kristine.
Yeah, and my mom's house. It still fits. She also has the cellar. It really spans a
Ugh.
lot. Yeah.
I feel like this person is from Ohio, and I just like maybe they didn't mean to.
They
out
wrote
themselves.
the wrong name, the wrong state. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an old cellar with dirt floors with this creepy ass stereotypical stairs from horror movies and a single light bulb hanging by a chain. Yep.
I mean, that is like every basement that I've lived in, but I feel like that's pretty normal, right?
I mean,
I
I
mean,
had
it's not normal. I mean, it's
I
normal
know.
enough.
Sure. I had a fully finished basement.
Oh, I didn't.
So-
I've never had that. I've literally never lived in a home with that.
I think I only went down a few times, and each time I ran back up those stairs so quickly, feeling like I was being chased by some invisible demon. And when I did go there to get something my mom asked for, I would loudly sing whatever song was in my head the entire time, thinking of the sounds of Fergalicious would scare the ghosts
Uh,
away.
I would do that though, like just like da da da, like hum to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the creepiest part of the house was the upstairs bathroom. It was small but had a huge deep claw bathtub. And at first I
Mm,
thought, "Hell yeah, I love baths." Not can't be me. I
mm.
was ready to light some candles, pour some bubbles in and relax while reciting monologues from sappy romance movies
Fergalicious.
and Fergalicious, but I only took a bath there one time, and it was the most uncomfortable and eerie experience of my life.
Ew.
No matter how hot I ran the water, the tub felt ice cold under me. And maybe that's how these old tubs are. I don't know. But something about it
No,
told me
they're
I
meant to
shouldn't be there.
hold heat. We have one of these old ass claw tubs up there, which by the way, my friend Nicole, who's psychic, came over and I didn't even show her through the house because I was like, it's too messy. But she was like, there's a spot up way on your third floor. Is there like a bathroom up there with like an old clawfoot tub? And I was like,
Ugh.
who wants to know? And she goes, I just get the feeling someone tucks away back there. And I went,
Oh, right next to Leona. Maybe it's
please.
Boo Boo.
Yeah, honestly, that's where she made me go ghost hunting today. I'm gonna post it on TikTok because she literally walked around wedding. Maybe the ghost isn't here, and I was filming it. Like, are we really doing this? But the clawfoot tub, but no, they're supposed to hold heat. They're not supposed to be
Ugh.
cold under you.
Well, something about it told me I shouldn't be there, and I felt watched the entire time. That's the
N-
other thing. I feel like I'm being
naked?
watched and I'm naked. Like, I'm like, it's not going to work.
No, it's not gonna work.
I was constantly looking around, expecting to see someone in the corner, but I never saw anyone.
Ugh, and then
I
you feel
just
so
felt it.
vulnerable.
I don't think it was malevolent, but as someone that loves horror and creepy shit, I am a wimp. And one glance of a shadow out of the corner of my eye, and I nope out of there. And it just felt like it was watching, like it was curious. I never took another bath, and when I had to walk past the bathroom to get to the stairs, my heart would start racing uncontrollably, and my eyes were
Jesus.
glued to the floor, fearing that if I looked, I would see something. Unfortunately, my little sister really loved that bathroom.
Oh
Great.
no.
This crazy, possibly demonic sister of mine would disappear, and we would search everywhere for her just to find her sitting in the floor of that bathroom, talking and playing with her toys as if someone was there.
Forget it. So if Leona starts bringing her toys into that room, I know something's
Yes.
not good.
She was always in that bathroom talking to her friends, and she would call them her friends. Two little kids, both a little older than her. She said they played with her and they were nice. Everyone else just assumed she had imaginary friends, but I knew damn well that wasn't true.
I'm so
I
afraid. Does it have their names? Because if you say boo boo, I'm going to burn my house down. Okay.
if at some point if it shows up, I'll let you know.
I don't know why I got so scared for a second. I was like, if you say that and Leona's at the trampoline park and Blaze is at the trampoline park, I'm going to start crying.
Well, sorry. No, so far no, so far no.
Okay.
Although
Okay.
I'm the most terrified of like whatever that stomping in your house is.
In
That
my
like
house?
yeah, like the one that even like Blaze was freaked out. Like it sounds like a whole
Oh
ass
yeah.
person's
I
walking
mean,
around.
I think it's Juniper. I really do still think it's Juniper because especially once we found out that he's almost fully deaf, I think he just
Oh.
walks really loud now that he's older. I
Mm,
don't know, but it is very it does happen though sometimes when it's not the cat, but I think a lot of times when we hear pounding, we look over and it's Juniper. Um, so it's one of those things where it's like it could be explained, but like
mm.
sometimes it couldn't be.
I don't know.
Mm,
I was even more convinced when my family had a little late Ouija board party.
cool.
A family friend had come over who was super into tarot and spiritual stuff, and she brought a Ouija board. I swear, Christine, it's like all your
I'm
personalities
like
are
so
in this
annoying.
story.
I know. I'm the most annoying person ever.
And we were all really excited to try, even my mom, who definitely has zero interest in spirits. When we
Hmm.
first started, I was convinced it was fake, and I thought for sure our friend was moving the planchette on her own. But as we talked to more spirits, I became a believer in spirit boards. We talked to family members who had passed, asking questions that only me or my mom or sisters knew the answers to. It was really fun and exciting and even a little emotional, but overall, we had a great time until the kids spoke to us. One of the ghosts from the bathroom came through and started telling us about themselves. They were young, 8 or 9, and had a little sister who was there with them. I can't remember their names because honestly, I think my brain has blocked it out. And eventually, they told us something that had me wanting to run away from the house. They both died in the bathroom upstairs.
Oh no.
From what we surmised, their mother had drowned them in the bathtub.
Oh my fucking god.
Later research done by my mother seems to corroborate this.
Shit. I was hoping like at least it's just a story. Fuck me.
You'd think that would be the end.
Well, yeah, I'd hope so.
The family friend that came over also brought her teenage daughter with her, and the girl hadn't really participated, just sat on the couch and watched us mostly. But after we talked to that kid, she got really, really weird. When she went full trance mode for a solid 10 minutes, she's speaking in mumbles, rocking back and forth, and saying something in a language we couldn't figure out. No. She can go.
Who invited her anyway?
I was an absolute mess, screaming and crying and begging to leave that house, but everyone seemed chill for some reason and told me to calm down. Like, okay, sorry, I didn't realize that getting possessed was a normal thing to happen.
It's probably because the teenager, maybe that's just something that she did. I don't know.
I don't know.
If the parents are like, it's fine. I'm like, maybe
She does this all the time,
teenager
yeah.
just has an attitude problem. I don't know.
Anyway, we stopped the session right away and everyone was going off to bed while I was just sitting there freaking
Oh
out.
no, you poor thing.
And you know how they tried to console me? They had the teenage girl, who I saw basically possessed by a possible child ghost, sleep in the room with me to keep me safe.
No, that's diabolical.
I did not sleep at all that night, and I kept looking down at that demon vessel, sleeping on the floor.
That's another name for teenagers. Yep, demon vessel.
While I survived and we moved out for unrelated reasons a few months later, I've been dying to write this for a while now and just finally got the courage to. Much love,
Wow.
Miranda.
Hope we didn't bully you too much to do it next time, because wow, what a story.
Oy.
A demon vessel. That's pretty good.
I feel like that a demon vessel would be a competitor to Immortal Portal.
I was just thinking that's album 2 or 20.
It's gotta be, yeah.
Yeah.
Season
Oh my
28 on Discovery Plus.
Season 28. Wowza. Massachusetts.
I
Coming
don't
in
want to go
hot.
back, actually.
I do. I want to stay at the Hawthorne Hotel, Apple Orchard.
Yeah, that one's certainly the most tame. It's like, oh, I smell apples. Okay.
Yeah, like at the very least, it seems like a harmless enough, like
On a dare,
enjoyable.
I'd stay
even.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That cow pasture, I gotta be honest, I'm not going, actually. So
I'm so fascinated by that, though. I want to know, like, was it a Wendigo? Was it like a shadow figure? Was it a criminal? Was it a
See,
creeper?
I'm just like, call the police. If nobody's there, I'm still not coming back. I'm just like, I'm out. I have a new job now.
I mean, you're correct. You are correct. I don't deny you're correct. I just know that I wouldn't be as wise.
Imagine going to your next job at the interview and they're like, why are you leaving your last job? And it's like, there was a ghost? I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I got this ghost was mooing a lot. Like, what?
You had to be there.
You had to be there. It was so scary.
Well, thank you everyone for submitting your stories, and happy birthday to all my other Geminis out there. And I hope you have a good birthday, Kristine. And now we just gotta wait 12 more episodes until we get to do it all over again.
Oh man, that's okay. We still have Halloween and Christmas and all that good stuff.
I do love that we're halfway to Halloween. We've always got
true. We're halfway to
not so much.
Christmas.
Halfway to Christmas, yeah.
We're
There's
like
always a reason.
75% of the way to Halloween.
I know. I'm so excited.
That's exciting. I don't think that math is right, but whatever.
I think we know what we're gonna make Hanky's for his first Halloween.
What?
I think he's gonna be Frankenstein.
No. That's cute.
We've always thought like witch and like familiar, like that's easy. But like if he has to have a true costume, I think he's gonna
Frankenstein is so cute with his, and he's gonna go all like crazy, jumping up and out with little bolts in his head. Oh, he's so
gonna be
cute.
so sweet. And he's like a dog that lets you put things on him, which is nice. So yeah. Anyway,
Geo is too.
What's Geo
Count
gonna
your
be?
blessings.
Annoyed?
Annoyed. No, I don't know yet because it depends on Leona. I usually try to make them do a couple's costume.
That's beautiful.
When she was a Dino Rancher, he was a Triceratops, that kind of thing.
Precious.
Yeah.
Precious. Well, happy birthday, Kristine.
Happy birthday, Em. Have a good time at the dog park if you make it.
More like at the vet with Mr. Guido shoes. So.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Okay. And
That's
why
we
drink.